Hi, I'm Sam, your resident fantasy reader.
And I'm Morgan, your romance reader, and we welcome you to Just One More Page,
where it's never just one more page.
So Halloween's next week. Is it?
Is it? No.
I think it's next week, or is it in 2 weeks?
2 weeks. 2 weeks? This is going up on the...
It's going to be like, it's like the next week after that.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be next week when we post this. Yeah, because we'll post this on the 22nd.
Yeah,
and then
I finally just decided what I'm going to be for Halloween. It took me forever to decide because I kept going back and forth. Like, I really wanted to be Barbie Oppenheimer, and I was like thinking about it, and I was like, because I would have to sew everything together because I had an idea of doing like split screen, and I was like, I'm not sure if that's gonna quite work. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should be Shigo from Kim Possible because I absolutely love Shigo from Kim Possible. And I was like, well, that's weird to go by myself because no one's really going to get it if I go by myself. And I was like, Ted Lasso. I love Ted Lasso. And then I looked up his costume and it would be like $100 to do the whole costume. Get like the jacket, the pants, the hair, the visor, the sunglasses. And I was like, I don't really want to spend $100 on a costume. And then I remembered, what was I going to do for my 30th? Do you remember?
I don't, honestly. It was 3 years ago.
Going to throw a Harry Potter party.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And so, but it got canceled due to like COVID because I didn't really feel comfortable throwing like a huge party during like COVID, era. I didn't really feel like that was right to do. And so I canceled it, but I still have the costume and I spent like a lot of money on this costume. So I'm going to Fleur Declore and I'm going to hand out butterflies to people. Whenever someone recognizes me, I'm going to hand out butterflies. Be like, here's a butterfly. Because, in the movie that she's like, and then butterflies come out. Perfect. So I finally decided on that. So
nice. That'll be fun. You'll have to send me pictures.
Oh, I will definitely send pictures. It's gonna be super fun. So how's your week been, Sam?
I passed my test. I actually pulled off a 90. I was pleasantly surprised. Because I took after I hit submit, it didn't show our grade. And so all I saw was like my overall grade went down and I was like freaking out. And I noticed that at the bottom, it like told you like total number of points for like both tests put together. So I subtracted my previous grade and got what I thought was my grade and thought I had only gotten like a 76 on this test. Called my husband, absolutely bawling my eyes out. Like, this is it. I've disappointed everybody. I failed. It's like, I'm done. Like, blah, blah, blah. And then come to find out that there was a lot of like write in drag and drop stuff, and if it wasn't like written perfectly, the test would mark it as completely wrong.
Oh, really?
And so my teacher went in, fixed everything, and then I actually proved a question to be correct, so I got an extra 2 points on that and pulled out a 90.3. I was like, fuck yeah.
Oh, congrats. That's awesome.
So I'm like, I'm not gonna fail out of school. So that was nice.
That's nice. That's awesome.
Because it's testing week, there wasn't really much to do this week because people took the test yesterday, and then people are taking it on Sunday. I did it in the first group. So there was no class, no homework, no nothing. So it's just been kind of a nice chill week. Had my clinicals. That's about it. Very easy week, which was really nice.
Yeah, I made pumpkin bread this week. And then I also but I also feel like, I don't really feel like it's fall season. If that makes sense. Like I went apple picking so far this year and I made pumpkin bread, but it doesn't really feel like Halloween's coming up. But I did make a Christmas list.
Yeah, you were saying that I think last week, right?
Yeah, I have it down. I've decided what I'm going to be doing, and I think I might make TikToks about it because I'm like, listen, it needs to feel like Christmas because last year did not feel like Christmas, and it needs to feel like Christmas this year. So I'm
excited for Christmas this year because it'll be Clayton's first.
Oh yeah, you're gonna give him a little ornament.
I'm gonna try. A lot of the custom ornaments now, people are really because nostalgia is like a business now, and so people are really hiking up the prices on it. I might just make my own. I might go to Hobby Lobby or something and get the I don't even know how to explain it. It's you can it cements, but you put your handprint in it, and then you can just write on it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
One of those projects, and then make my own.
Oh,
and do like his little handprints and stuff. So I think I might do that for his first Christmas this year, and that way it'll we can always see how tiny his hands were. I might do his feet. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I think I might do that instead of trying to like order my first Christmas one. We were just talking about Halloween. I almost said my first Halloween, but like my first Christmas ornament or whatever. I might make it a lot more personalized. I think it'll be cuter, and then something we can hang on to forever. So when he's all grown up and out of the house, we'll have that, and I can cry over it.
Oh, yeah, you
Yeah,
do a lot of crying. Have
because
you seen this
Pisces.
that TikTok trend where it's like Halloween and then someone knocks on the door and it's like Happy Halloween or whatever or trick or treat and it's like the kids growing up and it's like
No.
you need to do that this year. So like they have it where the camera's set up and then you open the door you open the door and you say trick or treat and then it's you do it every year.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can see your kids' costumes every year. Wouldn't that be really cute? And then
I'm
that
gonna
we can
cry.
like look back. Are you crying?
I'm gonna cry. No, I'm not crying. But dude,
But
I
like
was
I'd be
crying the other day at the thought of like so I don't know how much you know about like nursing graduations.
uh,
But there's a the actual graduation's actually not a big deal in nursing. There's what we call a pinning ceremony, which is a huge deal. And it's where you kind of like take your oath and everything, and make your promise to like do no harm and whatever. And it's a whole thing. It's a big deal in nursing. And the biggest deal is choosing the person who's going to pin you. And I'm like back and forth on who I want to pin me. And then I was thinking about Derek and Clayton pinning me, and like he's going to be one years old, so he's going to recognize me a little more. And I just started crying on my way to clinicals the other day. I'm like, I am a mess, and I need to stop.
oh boy.
Yeah. So anything that I don't, I'm just a mess. I really should. All these postpartum hormones should be gone by now, but I'm just like,
Yeah, but it's
what about
also
everything?
your Pisces in you, so you
Yeah.
got a little good cry in you.
Yeah, I love my son so much, so.
Yeah. Well, talking about crying, I want to cry after reading this book. Nah, okay, let me be honest with you. It was a very long book, but, like, listen, there's a lot of things I wanna say about this book that we read in the past or we read for this podcast. Oh my god, I'm all over the place. I'm sorry, I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee real quick because I'm all over the place. But anyways, let's talk about the book that we
Okay.
read for this week. So today we read Unholy Terrors by Lyndall Clipstone, which is a young adult fantasy novel that follows Everline, who is a warden, a holy warrior that's sworn to protect against monsters known as the vespertine. But when Everline's partner is kidnapped, Everline will work with Ravel, a monster who she's sworn to fight against. Ravel promises to help, but for a price, aka her blood. Even though it's a sin for a warden to feed a vespertine, she'll do anything to save her friend. I feel like last week when I was explaining this book, I was all over the place, and I feel like now that I read the book, I can like explain it a little bit better. So
Mhm.
hopefully that makes more sense to you guys. But yeah, this is a fantasy romance novel. What did you think, Sam?
I didn't like it.
Oh, you didn't like it?
I didn't like it
Tell me why you didn't like it.
because, and this is gonna have to like sit in a lot of our spoilery section. The motivations for this book didn't make any sense for what they were doing.
Okay.
And I can't say much more than that until we get into the spoilery section. I just felt like there was a lot of explanation and a lot of setup for like, I don't know, 5 minutes of action at the end that really didn't matter too much. I was hoping the author would go in a completely different direction. Like I was all prepared for one specific thing to happen, and I was like, heck yeah, like go out on the limb and do this. And she didn't, and I was kind of actually upset about it. Um but I don't know how to else to explain it
Yeah.
because they would like give everything of this book away.
I definitely didn't enjoy it either. I thought that maybe I didn't enjoy it because, like, I'm not a fancy reader, but
No,
I
it
agree with
wasn't.
you.
It was very bland. Honestly,
Yeah.
it was a very bland book. I was excited for some dark fantasy, and it didn't hit the mark that I wanted it to. And there was a lot she could have done with this book, and a lot of places she could have gone with it, and it just didn't happen. And
Well,
it
I
made me upset about.
like, yeah, and I can see, like, that she didn't go in a certain direction, but I just felt like the book dragged a ton. And, like, the book itself throws you right into it. Like,
Yeah.
this is the background. There's no like, it doesn't, she does not baby you into this book. She's like, bang, you're in the world. There you go. Figure it out. And I'm like lost. As a romance reader, as someone who reads cute, fluffy romance books, I was like, what am I reading? And I was like, I felt like I was studying for school. I was like, okay, who is who? I don't remember what is happening. There's a god, there's evil god. Okay.
Yeah, they're without giving too much away. So in this like world, they fight against the vespertine, which I thought were vampires, but apparently these like wolf creature things. And this god Nyx, he created them, and then their god, I guess, supposedly defeated him or whatever. And now they are sworn to like protect the wall and like Game of Thrones, like defend the
Mhm.
wall. And then our main character has no magic, so she's just kind of chilling out. I don't know. I wanted so much more out of this book, and I wanted so much more adventure. And because they were advertising it as this like dark fantasy romance thing, I was expecting a little more like enemies to lovers, like bickering or some. I just wanted more out of it, and I just didn't get it. And I felt like it was just like the land of the longest camping trip ever before we leave to go to the thing that you can already see, and then we're there, cool, and then everything happens, and then nothing happens, and then everything happens, and then we're done. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, that was not fun and kind of boring, and I legitimately fell asleep.
Didn't you feel like the stuff in the book happened way too fast?
I feel like not only did it happen way too fast, but like the author had an opportunity for like a massive twist ending to really make you question how you felt about the characters, and then she just didn't do it. I was like, well, that was fun. So that's
Yeah.
all I have to say. 3 stars.
Yeah, I rated it 3 stars too. I just like I couldn't really quite put my finger on the reason why I didn't really like it. There was like of course romance in it, which is like something I absolutely love, but even with the romance I felt like it was pushed too fast. I also I'm going to admit something. It took me till the end of the book to realize the vespertine is actually werewolves. I mean, they're wolves. They're
Oh
wolves.
yeah,
I
yeah.
did not realize that whole book, and I feel like I should have realized it in the beginning. I feel like that just says so much about the writer. The writer did not explain or describe the world in a way for me to comprehend. And on top of that, I just felt like there's so many questions I have. Like, one, why is it all women working as warriors? Two, why is it this guy working with a bunch of women? I don't know, a bunch of it just did not make sense to me. And I get what you're saying, where you wanted to be something more than what it was, because I honestly did feel like it dragged. And at the end of the book, I was like, thank God I'm done. Because I think
Mm-hmm.
I texted you, and it wasn't even the fact that it was like a long book. I just texted you because I was like, oh my God, this is so long, because it was dragging so much. I just like
Yeah.
wanted to get it over with. But, anyways, let's go into our spoiler section. Now, if you like to be spoiled, then please stay along. But if you do not want to be spoiled, please check out our last week's episode in which we read The Love Interest by Claire Gilmore, which was a cute enemies to lover romance novel that me and Sam read. That I guess you just have to listen to see if we liked it. But, anyways, let's go into our spoiler section. So, Sam, let's talk about
Yes.
the book.
Okay. The thing that I felt like would have redeemed this entire book, because I wouldn't have really 100% seen it coming, was her killing Ravel. When we found out that the damage she did to him also
Mhm.
hurt Nyx, I thought that if she killed Ravel and that killed Nyx, like we'd have some moral dilemmas, but I think that would have redeemed the whole book.
Oh, I don't know about that. I would have been disappointed with that. I felt like the book would have been better if they stuck with a twist of him betraying her and stay
Yeah.
with that. And then she
Yeah.
would have to kill
and
him. That would make
and
more
then
sense.
just continue. And yeah, I guess I should have started with that part when we found out that he like betrayed her and everything, and I was like, oh, let's keep going with this, like this just got good. And then it was like JK. And
JK,
then
I actually love
like
you.
they full on had like sexy time, but then she was like, I'm gonna have to keep kill you, like you understand this. And I was just like, I don't know what's going on right now. I'm very confused. um, and then I'm also confused by the fact that she said that nothing was going on between her and Lux, and that Briar basically could have her. But then, like, they were like kissing each other a lot at the end of the book, and I was like, is really nothing going on between you two? Like, I really don't understand how the relationships work in this world, because, like, our world, that means you like them. Or something's
Well,
going
okay.
on between
Here's the
you.
thing, though. When I was reading this book, and the sister Brianna or Baron, what's how do you say her name?
Briar?
Briar. Oh my god, Briar, was like super protective of Lux. I was like, "Is this gay? I feel like this is a little gay." And I was like, "Oh wait, no, this is gay." Okay, but like I don't know. I feel like Lux and Everline, their relationship is more of like sisters. Like they're close, they're huggy, they're like, and of course, like in the end of it, they're saying goodbye. They went through this whole traumatic thing, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. And I also can know how Everline feels when Briar came along with them and she absolutely hated it, because I'm not that I've ever been in this situation with my siblings having to fight monsters, but like definitely when I have friends over and my sibling wants to hang out with my friends, I'm like, no, they're my friends. You can't hang out with my friend. So I get her jealousy, her upset, her being like upset with that. So that part I can totally relate to. But I felt like the love story in this, especially Briar and Lux, it just like felt like it came out of nowhere. I wish there was more of a background or more of a lead up to them finding this half human, half werewolf. By the way, though, how did they know this was like a vespertine? Like, because they have like claws and they have like teeth, but like in all reality, what I'm viewing is a human.
Yeah, and I think that's like the big reason probably why you were confused about like the fact that the Vespertine were like werewolves, is because like in the very beginning they like slashed that girl's throat. Hazel, I think is what her name was.
Yes.
Um, and that's another thing I gotta talk about too, and not the killing Hazel part. Like, it wasn't very clear that the Vespertine were wolves until like I think halfway through to almost the end, when she was like basically telling us that she was petting them, and then I was like, oh hey, they're wolves. They're not like half human vampire things. But like it felt like a lot of lore was mishmashed in
Yeah.
between. And then so they kill her, and then he's like, I'm gonna go try to take care of the person who killed my sister. And now he's found the people who killed his sister, but then like he's like, but I love you, and but even though you like slit my sister's throat, I still love you. What was Lex who killed her? But that's besides the point, because Briar or Evie would have done it too. But I'm just like, I don't understand what's going on, because like you feel like that would be unforgivable.
Yeah.
And then she's falling in love with him despite him kidnapping their friend. And they make these vows, but like have really no reason to be making these vows, because the only person who had real like we found out about Ravel's motivation behind getting Evie through the thousandfold,
Mhm.
but like he didn't give her any reason to make vows, and he had like I don't get it, because the way the summary was set up was like they both had a means to the end, and they
Yeah.
were going to help each other, but really it was just him helping Evie get her friend back that he also kidnapped.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. You're right though. And also like I kept getting frustrated too with this book because I felt like how long are they going to be camping? And also like what like why wouldn't they just go straight into I don't know. And also, like, is there houses in this land? Like, I'm trying to, like, understand it, but I felt like the writer really, or at least for me, failed at the world building because I couldn't quite understand what was happening. Also, on top of that, can we just talk about the fact that why do I need to know every like, I feel like the writer talks so much about their nail polish and about their makeup.
No, but for real, like she adds the weirdest details to the book that like make no like there was no reason to know it. Um
Mhm.
like I was okay at the beginning when she was kind of like describing how the armor was set up and stuff, because then it gives you a really good visual of kind of what they're wearing and like what's protecting them. But then that's kind of all that needs to happen. But she was going into like straight up full detail of every single outfit and every single piece of armor. And the only other time she really needed to go into detail about it was when she was trying to show that Ravel's armor was identical to her armor. But after that, like, it really didn't matter. I really didn't care what they were wearing, honestly. And like they were wearing a lot of dresses for people who were hiking in the woods.
No, I completely agree with the whole dress thing because I feel like if you're going off to fight a war, then you're gonna put on pants and you're gonna like tie up your hair. But they're all about their bones and their blood, which like I felt very confused about the whole magic system. And I don't know how you felt about the magic systems and do you read more fantasy books? But for me, I understood that they had to take bones, but was it the bones of the wolves that they were killing, or is it the bones of people that have already died? Because there's this whole concept about bones and blood and then
And then honey, like
using her
honey's
magic.
thrown in there somewhere. Like
Yeah, and honey's thrown in there. So do you think the magic system actually made sense?
I feel like it wasn't like very well kind of established at all.
No.
Because I could get the idea behind it, but I'm just like I don't understand where their magic is coming from, why only certain people are marked as wardens. Why did Raven Ravel, like, was he supposed to be a warden? And is that why he had magic when he was like turned into a like vampire vespertine thing? I don't know. The whole magic system was kind of wonky, honest to God.
I feel like this book went in my head and it went out. Like it was like I am just listening to words. That's it. Um Yeah, I don't know. This book just wasn't for me, Sam. I'm sorry. Like, I was excited to read another a fantasy novel for you because I know that we read a couple of romance novels. So I was like, yeah, we'd read like a fantasy novel for Sam. But this book, I just was not for me. And also, like,
I felt like she could have picked a couple places where she could have just gone a little bit deeper. I really wish that her and Ravel had more of a like I guess adventure instead of just kind of just
mhm.
being at that cathedral place, like actually like camping out and then dealing with I don't know whatever nature throws at them, like have them go through trials and stuff like and I didn't realize the thousandfold was going to be like a stone's throw away from where they were. It just, I don't know. Everything seemed very narrow. Like everything was so close together that it just didn't feel like an adventure like it should have been.
Honestly, for me, this book was really hard for me to comprehend for a non fantasy reader. The romance part of it was was fun to read, but in some ways, I really didn't feel like Ravel and Everline had any chemistry, and it was very kind of weird to me that it was very very high sexual stuff in it where it's like yes it's faded black, but I don't know about other fancy, like young adult fantasy novels, but I just felt like there was a lot of like sexual stuff in the book that wasn't really exactly sexual. That makes sense. Like him biting her. Well, by the way, him biting her and drinking her blood like a vampire, and then her like getting off on it. Like I was like, "Excuse me, what am I reading?" I was like very surprised in that aspect, and I guess I wanted more relationship building, and I wanted more world building, and I just
Mm-hmm.
wanted the book to be more well thought out. And maybe in some ways, I feel like this book could have been a short story than
Yeah.
a actual full out novel.
And I was hoping like once they made those vows and like he bit her or whatever, it would like awaken her magic or something. Like what is the reason why does she not have magic and everybody else did?
Yeah.
And then why did it matter that she was born on the in the shadow of the thousandfold and how did that really truly make her different? Because I was low key waiting for them to be like Nyx is your father. Like
Well, yeah, because I also thought that the like her mom, because in the story her mom betrays everyone and lets
mm,
in these monsters into the wall. I thought there was gonna be more to that.
yeah, me too.
In reality, it was just that her mom was actually in love with Finn, who cheated on his wife. And then the mom was like, I'm found out that the guy was actually alive, this fake or this god, this evil saint, whatever. And then was like, I'm gonna let them all the monsters in because I don't care that I love you. I want to get power or whatever she wanted to do. And so I thought
And
there
I'm
was
gonna
gonna be more to
sacrifice
that.
my child too.
Yeah, like, why not?
Yeah, like,
And
consolation prizes.
yeah, why not? But I don't know, the whole book I was just quite frustrated with. Any other things you would like to say about the book?
Glad it's done. That's it. Glad it's done. Three
Me
stars.
too.
Could have been way better than what it was, and was expecting way more, and I'm very disappointed in it.
Yeah, so, well, hopefully, next week we'll have a little bit more fun because next week we are going to be doing this fun thing that we did last year, in which me and you are both going to tell like either a spooky story. I think last year you did a story about this demon dog in North Carolina, and I did a whole like long ass story about Houdini being like hating ghosts, or no, hating mediums, which was super interesting because I did so much research about it. And if you guys want to check it out, you should definitely check it out because it was such a fun episode. So we're going to do it again. And I don't know what story or what thing you're going to talk about. And you don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I guess we'll figure it out next week on our Halloween episode.
Loki, I don't know what I'm talking about either. I got to figure it out.
Ooh, I have a couple ideas
Do
out
you?
there. I have one spooky story where I'm really excited, but I'm kind of scared to investigate because I'm scared of the actual story.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, so next week will be our Halloween episode, and we'll see you guys then. But if you guys like this episode and would like to support us, please feel free to rate us on Spotify, as it does push our podcast out there for other people to find. Also, remember to check out our YouTube channel and also subscribe to us on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts and anywhere else you can find a podcast. And Sam will tell you about the rest of our socials.
So if you think we are absolutely hilarious, which fun fact, my friends, we are. We do have a TikTok. It is just one more page. Oh my god, I've done this 800,000 times. You think my brain would remember this?
You got it.
We do have a TikTok. It's TikTok. It is just one more page podcast. And if you want to go check out our Instagram, it is just one more page official. So go ahead and follow us on those. Come stalk us. Slide into our DMs. We love talking to you. So yeah, come tell us your thoughts. Did you read this book? Did you like this book? Are you looking forward to the Halloween episode next week? I know I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'd be
And
fun.
yeah, we will talk to
Yeah,
you
we'll
all
see.
next Sunday.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Ew, I sound so southern. Bye,
Bye,
y'all. Okay,
y'all.
bye.